Here I am again, spinning and circling around the proverbial womb of emotion that gives birth to these magnificent and yet terribly complex ideas that I call poetry. Feeling as though I have become the understudy in my own life, constantly perfecting, tirelessly preparing for what may inevitably never be. And yet day after endless day, night after endless night, I can't help but to be seduced by the words that ring in my head, as if it's coming from the voice of the divine, begging me, pleading with me to just stop and listen. My world stops and I am drawn in by the very feeling of movement, the grace with which words seem to effortlessly shout through my ears and roll off my tongue into the tips of my finger as I pound silently word for word. This is where my body goes when it needs a rest. It is the place where my mind opens to the very possibility that right now I'm not writing alone. This is the soul of a poet. And like any poet knows, we feel the world as much as we see the world. Categories of sound, depth of emotion, freedom of expression, all of which become the heartbeat that starts to rise as I make my way through. Line after line of what seems like a never-ending documentation of truth with which I experience the world. I will sit by the metaphoric door of silence, which is an entryway into my thoughts, paralleled by my fears, and the very reason for my existence, because I am a poet. I will answer the call no matter where I am or what I'm doing, so long as the pen remains my weapon and the words my ammunition. And as the pounding in my chest subsides, I will sit there anxiously awaiting the first and most important moments us poets feel, when we condense our experiences into a few short paragraphs that depict just enough of the reality we felt to remember how it felt. And as I venture off into another time and space, headed back to reality through the revolving door of madness, I will leave it behind, for I know it will be there when I come back. But if it's one thing I can be sure of, it's that when you come back, I will be waiting, spinning and circling through the proverbial womb.